Welcome to Tables, Ladders, and Bumps, a pro wrestling podcast where we talk about wrestling promotions like WWE, AEW. We give tinfoil wrestling theories, and we debate pressing subjects in the world of wrestling, all under 60 minutes. I'm joined by Wade and Pierre. Before we get into it, go ahead and drop a hidden blade
Oh, that's a
on
good one.
that subscribe button. Like it. We're honestly trying to get to 500 followers before the end of the year, so you guys can help us out. Tell a friend, share it, whether it be a clip or the episode, whatever it is. We appreciate it. Just help us get to 500 before the end of the year. Today's topics of discussion include Jacob Fatu's first promo, War Games, both the men and the women's booking, and also the women's mid card title that was just recently announced. We do have a debate for you guys at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that as well as a tinfoil theory. Let's get into it. What is poppin' this week in the world of wrestling? I'm gonna start. This is poppin'. This is poppin'. Jacob Fatu delivered his first promo. Granted, it may have been recorded, who knows? But this guy delivered. Before I get into it, what did you guys think of Jacob's promo, his debut promo of him talking on the mic?
You go ahead, Pierre.
I
You're
felt
the
like he
bloodline
came straight
guy.
from the streets. Um, it felt it reminded me of when Booker T was talking to Mean Gene Okerlund, and he told Hulk
Mhm.
Hogan, "I'm coming for you," and that's what it felt. I felt like he was about to slip up, and it was real like street stuff about to happen. He was talking about lacing up. He said, "I'm gonna lace up, out there," and then he wasn't talking about lacing up some boots, like
Yeah.
that was street slang, and it's different. It didn't have like that perfected like polished like promo.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like like this dude is dangerous, and this dude is like I say straight from the streets. So it felt like I was watching Scared Straight. I was scared a little bit, listening to it. But what you think, Wade, man?
No, I think Scared Straight's a good like thing to compare it to because I no, it was so good because I think probably the biggest issue with WWE for me with promos, they all feel kind of the same. And there's
Mm-hmm.
a kind of a in-house cadence and style that
Yep.
they had that was almost too polished where it
Mm-hmm.
seems real corny at times. And like I mean we still see it like all the time, particularly I could think for example there was a Becky Lynch promo where she's talking about like roots of a tree and stuff and it's just like what freaking English major wrote this stupid promo for you? Because I know Becky Lynch would not speak like this. But this, it's like, I don't know if they just got like had Jacob Fatu like, hey, like we trust you with this promo. Let's make it like awesome. Or they just you mean went to like Arkham prison and just had someone write a promo. Like, cause it was really I was drawn in. I'm like, this is sick. And people hate on AEW and stuff. I think they have some people that do like really good promos that are unique, like a Eddie Kingston. Where like I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh dude, I want to go like start punching people in the crowd after I hear this. And this is like I got that same man. They hit the jackpot with him,
Mm-hmm.
like on the roster. He's got it all. I never heard a promo from him, and I was like, damn, this is sick. I almost bought a shirt right after.
That's pretty much the formula, right? They get one good spot and they put the shirt out, and yeah. So I would say this really popped me. Like my jaw was open just watching this. And I've seen his promos from the indies when he's just in the back of an alley behind the venue smoking a cigarette. Like you got to watch those because if you watch those, then you'll understand that this dude is experienced. He's lived a life of just so much adversity, and he was speaking from the heart. I mean, he said things like you said, Pierre, like "Let me lace you up right quick," right? Or like you could take your ass to the back of the line. And when he
Yeah.
said that to Roman, I was like, dude, this is fire, fire. So I absolutely loved it. I'm glad you guys did too because man, that fired me up. And like you, Wade, I did look for some shirts right after. So, but the shirt he was wearing, it wasn't online. I looked. He only has like one or two shirts on there, and it's not the one that he was wearing recently. But anyway, let's move on to the next what's poppin'. Wade, what do you got?
I'm not gonna lie, I was just trying to look up what lace you up means on Google. I couldn't
Urban
find it.
Dictionary.
Urban
Yeah, I
Dictionary.
was, I was about to go to Urban Dictionary. I was like, oh, like because on Google it wasn't working. But um, that's my role as the super white person on this podcast, I guess. Mine is the women's War Games match that's
Mm,
been developed, I guess.
mm.
I will say they have kind of utilized the terrible Blood Diamond pay-per-view thing. Like they have been working towards this. Obviously, not done nearly as well as the Bloodline story that they have like 3 years of you mean previous stories to work on
Yeah,
and develop a War Games match. But I don't know. I'm for what they have to work with and how bad they have been at booking the women virtually this whole year, other than the Liv and Rhea feud that was fire till it wasn't. I'm cool with this. They added Io Sky for essentially no reason because she's been feuding with um what should we call it, the big three, but particularly Jade and Bianca. So I was kind of like, what the heck?
yeah.
But she's the best in War Games matches, so we kind of need her in the match, and she's a babyface, so you
Oh
can't
yeah.
really put her in the group um with Naya and Tiffany, and I'm assuming Candice LeRae. Is that who we're?
Hmm.
And then who's the next
The thing.
person? I don't think they're doing five. I think they're just doing four for women's.
I think it's Liv, Raquel, Tiffy, Naya, and Candice.
Oh, maybe
I
the
think it'd be Rhea.
Rhea's
Because they're all heels.
orbital's broken though.
Face mask.
Uh that's pretty. Orbital's like kind of risky a little bit.
I,
Like it took
it
Danielson a
depends
while
on
to
that.
come.
At the break, the injury is, but I think it'd be her. It would only make sense. Like
I
there's
can't
no one
think of
else to
For
anybody
put
else.
in the community.
for babyface, Marlon, you
Yeah.
can't. You wouldn't put Natalia in it. She's the boat, man. I try to think of who else you could. I guess if they do
Lyra?
five, you could do Lyra for sure. I think they might just do 4-on-4. Wait, so who were the
Maybe.
five that you said for the bad
Five
people?
five heels, Tiffy, Naya, Liv, Raquel, and Candice.
So Liv and Naya are going to be on the same side.
Mhm.
I mean, I
Mhm.
guess. Yeah,
Because
that kind of.
they're going up against the big three. Who was the other one? Io
Oh, baby.
and
Oh, I have an
It's not
idea.
Rhea.
maybe
It's
Bailey.
Bailey.
Bailey on the baby faces with
Yeah.
EO.
Hmm.
That could be an
Hmm.
interesting. There's oh man, there's a lot of
So when we think about it, that's kind of the underlying line tone of everything. Like these teams that don't really all get along, right?
Hmm.
yeah.
Except for
Hmm.
Line 2.0. But
Right.
all the opposite teams, like they don't get along. If you mix them up, like if you put Bailey with Io Sky along with Bianca, who does already hates Bailey, still has problems with her,
Yep.
then you create a dissension between Bianca and Jade. You go to the other side, you just had Nia versus Liv at Crown Jewel. So there's still beef there because it was cheating. You know, it would involve there. You had
Hmm.
Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae who's beefing that's in eye to eye too as well. That could be a good pairing. That could work out as far as like storyline purposes.
I want
Hey,
Candace in it, to be honest.
me
Because
too.
like
She could go.
she could go. She's a veteran and she'll do some crazy stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like I'm kind of biased. She's from the Inland Empire and from the club that I'm
Woo!
wrestling at right now. Like that's where she started. So I'm a little bit biased. But yeah, she doesn't. I think she's been doing good in how she's been booked recently.
And she's a speed champion. So you take advantage of that.
thinking of. She has. Why don't they have them wear the belts on TV?
Makes
Because
no
it's a
sense.
Twitter exclusive. That's what I heard.
That so they can't wear the belt and advertise for Twitter.
Think so.
This is the
Weird.
stupidest thing I ever heard.
I know.
I don't need to get in on another Elon Musk rant. I could go all day on that fool. So, um, all right. Well, yeah. You guys have anything else on that? I'm just like, has the booking bothered you, or do you feel like it kind of, other than the EO like just appearing thing, like a Super Smash Brothers character,
Here comes a new challenger.
yeah, it's like that's like exactly what it was. I was like, what the hell?
I think that's it
I
for
don't know.
me. It's just not clicking, and I don't see this. Obviously, isn't too long of a term of storytelling. And I'm just not convinced these teams are coherent, and it just feels so random to me still. So it's just
Yeah.
not clicking. Maybe the story will be told in the ring, but at this point, I don't know.
They'll do 6 spots. That's what we're just hoping for with this match. Dude, I'm
Yeah.
like, they're not gonna tell like a full story in the ring for this match. Like, but I think the women's matches, like particularly when there's been like wild stunts, they go crazy, and it's like I'm on the edge of my seat because I don't know if someone's gonna die in the match. Like you got Zoe Stark headbutting,
Yeah.
headbutting herself on a chair. Like all that stuff is like, and Io's gonna do something crazy. So everyone in there, I think, is pretty game to like do something wild. Maybe Niall do an annihilator from on top of the cage.
That person's life would end.
No, I was kidding about that because that's like basically what Edge was trying to do and broke his knee, shattered his leg.
Pierre, what did you got before Thomas closes this one? What did you
Um,
have for the women's war games thing?
I kind of feel like the same as you guys. I kind of feel like, man, the women kind of get garbage time. It feels like so just random and kind of like thrown together. Like, granted, you don't have, like you say, wait 3 or 4 years built up with the Bloodline storyline that really pull from, but you all knew that we would get into war games at some point. I don't know. I just feel like the execution could be better when it comes to the women's stuff. I don't know, man. I just hate that they, like I said, they get garbage time when it comes to everything, and they deserve more.
Did maybe I'm biased right now because I liked the whatchamacallit damage control story, like all most of like last year once they started kind of edging towards breaking them up, and I'm biased because Bailey and EO are probably like my two of my like top four on the roster, period. But I thought the story for that was pretty good, even though they were like going against the baby faces. They brought in Charlotte Flair, like they had all that. I thought they did a almost a better job for the women last year than the men, personally. And the match was better. The men's match was pretty boring, I thought, except for the um, Randy hitting the whatchamacallit
RKO.
RKO off the giant bobblehead. But I don't know. Did you? I feel like they did a better job last year with the women, right? Don't you think
Yeah.
so?
I think
Yep.
so. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. That's all I got.
Becky, Charlotte.
Sure.
Oh yeah, Becky hasn't. I keep forgetting about her, and she's not even injured.
Too soon
Yeah.
for Charlotte, I'd say, but maybe Becky.
Liv had been mentioned a lot about how she retired Becky Lynch, so that could be a
Hmm.
possibility too.
And there are rumors that Becky's going to be retiring or hasn't signed her contract yet. So
Yeah.
who
We'll see.
knows? Who knows? All right. Speaking of war games, Pierre, what do you got?
So I want to talk about the men's War Game match. We finally gotten to this point where we got OG Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0. Um, I don't know if I necessarily like how we got to this point, but I guess I'm happy that we gotten here finally. I was kind of unsure that we were gonna get both of these teams the way that they were constructed. It looked before we might get like Super Friends with Roman versus Bloodline 2.0. Um, this is part of the story where I feel like it might have been rushed with the OG Bloodline, but I'm hoping it turns out to be a good match. We still see, like I spoke before, like turmoil within the team. OG Bloodline. So I guess I just want to see what you guys' thoughts and opinion are about it. Do you guys think it could have been told better? Or are you guys happy with the way it's been told so far?
Go ahead, Wade.
I'm cool with it. I mean, this
Mhm.
bloodline thing's been going on for like 7 years, so like if they speed run some of it to get to war games, I'm kind of cool with it. Um,
That's a good point.
like I mean, dog, how long is this story gonna go?
Right.
Like I'm reading Berserk right now, and like these are all these books I got here. I've read freaking 11 of them in the past like week and a half. Uh, but like that's
Damn.
long, but I'm like still shorter than the Bloodline story.
Yeah.
It's manga, so it's easy to read. There's mostly pictures.
Okay.
But it's, still, I'm like, what are we doing here? It's like One Piece. Like it just keeps going,
Hmm.
and like anytime Sammy's in it, it's a million times better, I
Hmm.
think.
Hmm.
Jacob Fatu with that promo. I
Hmm.
mean, I've been enjoying most of the stuff. I think with Roman, I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna have him go full babyface or not. I can't tell because he's kind of still a dick. So they're not like speed running that, which I think is
Yeah.
good because if they just all of
Yep.
a sudden he was like telling everyone I'm sorry and like just being Cody Rhodes or something, it would have been kind of weird. So I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense for how it's going.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know. Yeah, I have no issues with it really. I don't think it's going too fast at all. Like I get what you're saying because I mean they hugged each people have hugged each other and stuff. I'm like, how long do we need to like? You
Belabor
mean
it.
edge me on that? Like I got it with this story's been going on a long time. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the pacing's fine. I'm kind of curious about how they only had Jay hold the IC belt for a month. I'm wondering if that was a part of the original plan for him to have the title in the first place for that short of a time. And like Wade said, like it feels rushed, yeah, but one, they probably got so much more story beyond this, and
Okay.
two, you don't
How
want to
much?
belabor
How much more?
generations
Right.
after this. Jacob has 10 children. You know, Roman has five,
Does
and
Jacob have 10 children?
I think he does.
He had seven, like
Oh,
seven, five or
seven,
seven.
seven.
Oh, so he's like
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco? Just
Yeah.
drop him.
Uh, so I feel that it does feel rushed, but then with Bloodline stuff, some of it could drag out like the matches or some of the story arcs, and then they'll have like one big moment that makes you forget about all of that, or at least make you say, "Oh man, that was totally worth it."
I don't.
So I'm gonna
It
let it
hasn't
play
happened
out.
much for me lately, but this matches are. I'm like, I'm kind of done on the matches. Like, I don't know, man. I've not WrestleMania. That was sick. Like,
Mhm.
particularly the last match, but that was quick. There was no like, not a Roman. I'm gonna like go walk around really slow for 20 minutes, and then we'll like have like a ref bump. You mean for the last 5 minutes thing? I don't know. I feel like their matches are so contrived. I'm kind of over them. Not to be a hater, but I've seen the same thing so many times, and I feel like a weirdo. But I'm like, if I'm gonna have interference, I want it more like the Judgment Day stuff.
Yeah.
Like how they
Mhm.
lost the uh tag belts. That was sick, actually. Like I was uh to Motor City Machine Guns. I like that because that was
Yeah.
pandemonium, more like a almost Judgment Day type of buffoonery. But I don't know. I'm kind of over these matches. Sorry, not to go off on a tangent, but like I like with Jacob Fatu in it. I'm like I hope they put him in first in War Games because homie can freaking go. If we have Solo in first, it's really gonna.
Tongalo is going in first.
Oh god. I mean, that's kind of funny though because he's so not good in my opinion that I'm entertained.
Yeah. Wait, Pierre, you got anything else on that?
No, no, we can move on.
All right. So for our three count, guys, what do you guys think about Jacob Fatu's first promo and being on the mic? What do you think about Jacob Fatu in general? For the women's war games, who do you think the fifth member will be? Even though I'm going to be talking about that in my three count, but let us know how you guys would book the men and women's war games and what you were gonna and what would you would expect for this event coming up. Let's get into the three count. I'll go ahead and start off with mine. The fifth man. I know we were speculating and kind of fantasy booking this. Um, I feel like there are a few possibilities or what's being talked about on the internet. For the men's, could be The Rock, could be another bloodline family member like Hikuleo or Lance,
Yeah.
right? So, what do you guys think it could be for the men's fifth man in War Games? Could even be someone in house, KO or Cody. So,
I have to say something. As I was talking in the last thing, I thought we were going into the fifth person thing, and then I was like, oh, I can't talk about that yet. And then I just started talking like Michael Scott, where I didn't know what my sentence was gonna go. So I just want to apologize for that. I was like, what
no,
am I
it's all
even
good.
talking about?
It's all good.
Pierre, you go first on that.
We're talking about it more in depth.
I was like, what am I even talking about this match?
Uh, man, I've seen different names thrown out, right? And we still got some bloodline members in the house with NXT kind of has been signing new guys. Um, they can still debut. We got the WWE ID. I think Silo Batu is part of that.
Oh, is he?
That too as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Uh, The Rock is still looming. Nobody's coming back. So and we saw on Monday Night Raw the bloodline, don't OG bloodline go try to recruit people, and two of the three didn't make any sense at all. You saw Jimmy going to talk to Braun Breaker, and you saw Jay talking to Rey Mysterio, and then you saw Sammy go talk to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins makes sense in the scenario, but he also doesn't make sense because he hates Roman Reigns. But
Yeah.
I would take that, right? But I think as far as like this story goes, if we take in-house people, I, I I know people say they don't want to see it and they're tired of him, but Cody Rhodes and KO. Um,
Mm.
and I would see it playing out to the degree of Cody owes Roman a favor from Bad Blood in a sense, and Cody is that type of guy that will own up to his debts or whatever the case may be, and do this solid for Sami Zayn. I think if Sami came to Cody Rhodes and asked him, he would just say yes because that's just how
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes' character is. For you, Sami, okay, I got you. Um, and then KO would just step up because he hates Cody Rhodes right now, and it would
Mhm.
add to also
Mm.
it would push him over the edge even more to see that Sami Zayn, someone he had already teamed
Mhm.
with to take down the Bloodline, is now back again in the Bloodline too as well. So I think
Mhm.
it makes sense for Cody Rhodes and KO to join up and be the fifth members.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. So I don't want that. I want Braun Breaker in that match because I want him against Jacob Fatu just for like 5-10 minutes, just going
God,
nuts. Like I don't. Okay, cool. Like KO
so
and
crazy.
Cody are cool. Like I like them, but I mean I've seen them in War Games matches. I haven't seen Braun Breaker in one.
Hmm.
To my knowledge, I don't think he was in the NXT. No, he wasn't in yet. So yeah, I want to see him freaking spear someone with a trash can on or something. Freaking nuts off the like Frankenstein or someone onto a trash can. Like there's a lot of cool stuff they can do. Braun Breaker kind of makes sense because they got all the bloodline. How did that happen? Where he had the face off with Jacob Fatu? What was that for?
He was going after
It was that,
Jay because of the
Oh,
IC
Jay.
title. Yeah. And then
So I
the other
and
bloodline was in the building.
and if we're talking bloodline, his family has history with you mean the bloodline as a whole, the Fatus and Anoais, whatever. Like, so I think I don't know. I'd be cool with that. I kind of want KO versus Cody by itself at um the pay per view, and I kind of want KO to beat him.
I can't think we get Cody versus KO at Saturday Night Main Event.
I think that
They've
would
been
be
pushing that.
that'd be legit.
Do we really think they're gonna have a big time matches there?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got on location for it. They do it and trying to make it something big.
All right. Well, I guess, yeah. All right. I guess. Okay. I didn't know they were doing on location for that too. So okay, maybe they will. Because you guys keep mentioning it, but I'm like, is this a thing? I don't know, like what the deal is with this. And it's just on a Saturday, right? Like it's
Yeah,
kind of a pay per view, but kind of not.
that's what I feel like. I think it's going to be on NBC. I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, like old school because it was on regular TV kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So no blood.
No, no blood.
Lame. It's not going to be as cool as the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight this weekend. Um,
Oh, that is this weekend. Shoot,
yeah.
Friday. Friday.
man.
Um, yeah, I think Braun Breaker would be cool for it. I don't really care about the story's fine. Like it doesn't need we don't need to make it you mean Grapes of Wrath or anything and have it be even more complex and well thought out. I think just throw Braun Breaker and then just start crushing people because there's enough doof magoos in this match to kind of ruin the wrestling in it. I think where I don't know. I kind of just want more exciting. KO's sick though. He'll do some crazy spots.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I will say that. So will Cody, but I don't know. I'm kind of with you on the Cody thing now at this point, Pierre. I'm kind of like, it's fine. I like try to defend it. He's just there. I just don't like baby faces that much. I think it's part of it. Like, yeah, it's like fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
A long babyface reign is pretty weird these days. I don't know. Trying to think
it's
of
I
Yeah.
want him to lose it. I want him to
yeah,
lose it right now against KO. Well, KO's you mean fatalitying people. So
right. All right, so let's get into the next segment, the women's mid card title. Wait, I think that's yours.
yeah, that is mine. Um, yeah, I think we had been hating on him for a while with the Blood Diamond belt that no one gets to keep or anything, and we had thought when they were unveiling the belt, oh, it's gonna be the women's mid card title, and then it was that gross blood money belt, and yeah, they have the women's belt that is exactly the same as the men's belt, but with a white strap. So I mean, they really,
It looks cooler to me. I like it more for some reason.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing though. It's the white strap. I think honestly, I think the women's world championship with the white strap looks better than the men's one too. I think it
Mhm.
is kind of um I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited they're doing it. They haven't, to my knowledge, and we could talk about this too. Have they logistically said how this is working? Like, is it
Battle
only for
Royale.
SmackDown?
It better not be a battle royale.
Dog, if they
Battle.
do that,
It better not be a battle royale.
I gotta rip this mic off and slam it.
I feel like it could lead up to.
Please, I would laugh so hard. I almost want them to do that just to spite us, who always make fun of them for that.
I feel like it's going to be a tournament leading up to Saturday Night Main Event.
Makes sense.
Because they're
When
usually
is
like
this Saturday night main event? When is it?
December. It's the
Okay,
December.
gosh,
It's the
yeah.
December. They normally don't have December PLEs. Remember, it's like a long ass stretch
Yeah.
between Survivor
Yeah.
Series and Rumble. So I feel like this is like a nice mid card time to shine type of situation, and then you have your top tier people showing up to do something minor. But I feel like it's going to be a tournament leading up to Saturday Night Main Event.
Hmm.
No, I think so. Something like that too. I'm happy that they finally decided to give the women a mid card title. But now it's like, well, you guys they'll only be giving the women one match per show, 1 or 2 matches. And in those 1 or 2 matches, it's been a multi-woman tag match. And so still there hasn't been enough emphasis put on the women division in general. And the booking is terrible, a lot of times too. So I hope they do justice and do right by this title. and it just doesn't become like the women's tag team titles that just don't mean anything really, you know. Um, and if we're going to pick people early, I saw you had picked her, Marlon. I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna back that sentiment too. Chelsea Green for the first champion. So I don't know. That's
Mm,
kind of what I got for it.
Mm-hmm.
nah, I don't think so.
Who?
Natalia.
What? Really?
No, I'm kidding.
No,
I like Natalia. I wouldn't even care if she got it. She is actually not a bad mid card title person if there's two mid card belts or whatever
yeah,
to like at some point. I'm not saying the first one, but if she got the mid card one at some point because there's injury, I wouldn't care at all. No, not her, not Selena Vega in particular. Yeah, probably Chelsea, Lyra, Kyrie Sane,
Dakota.
uh, Dakota Kai. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. I just, yeah. Do you guys think they're gonna float it between brands like the tag belts?
I think they'll keep it on
Uh,
Raw.
Well,
for
they
SmackDown,
announced it
right?
on SmackDown though.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I think they'll keep it on SmackDown. Sorry. I don't know why I thought it was Adam Pearce.
Um,
Really?
I think they just debuted this one just because, well, part of it because we just had the election, so it's U.S. and patriotism and being patriotic or whatnot. So I think that was kind of the idea of popping out this one first. I feel like we should get an Intercontinental Championship, maybe first of the year, if not some other title to kind of go with Netflix. If they don't do IC title, maybe a I don't want to say Netflix TV title, but something like that, another mid card title for Raw.
Hmm. Netflix and chill title. Yeah, I don't. They either need to have it go back and forth or have another one because I
Mm.
don't. I don't think SmackDown's roster is big enough for women to have. I mean, what are you just gonna have like Bailey continually go against freaking Naomi over and over again for that belt? Like, what
Yeah.
do you? There's not that many people on that.
Yeah,
No,
and if they could afford to have people go back and forth because the draft usually falls apart around this time of year anyway,
You know
or towards
the
the end of the year.
the women's well, it's already gone to shit because of war games. Like you got
Yeah.
freaking people in the parking lot every time. Like, but the the women's tag belts of the last year have been defended 20 times.
I saw that. I heard that. Yeah,
What?
it's great.
I
Yeah,
can't I cannot remember more than like three of the matches.
Right.
I must have seen every one because I watch NXT every time too.
yeah.
20
Dang.
times? God, those are best have been a lot of terrible matches because I cannot. Can you remember, Pierre?
Who's had him other than Jade and Bianca and the Unholy Union?
Um,
Damage Control.
they beat the Party Girls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Damage Control had them for a minute, and then the Party Girls had them. Damage Control got them back, and then that's when they lost to Jade and Bianca.
Yeah.
Jade and Bianca lost to the Holy Union. Uh, I, I don't remember 20, but I feel like they, yeah. When we think about it now, I can get to 20 somehow with it.
Yeah. I mean, no match has lasted longer than 10 minutes, I don't think, on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was just like, I'm like 20. That's like almost every other week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, that's all I got for that. So, unless you guys want to talk about that anymore. But I
No,
figure we needed to talk about it since we've been hating on them for not actually giving these
oh
belts
yeah.
for like 3 months. So,
All right. Pierre, what do you got for yours?
So for what I got from mine, kind of goes along. What goes with I don't know if you guys had the chance to see the Ricochet tweets from the night
mhm.
before, or whenever. How he was kind of flaming up people, for criticizing him and also criticizing his wife or whatnot. And then I just read recently that he said that was fake. That was all fake news. That didn't happen. That wasn't his account or someone hacked his account or whatever.
What?
Uh, yeah. Before we started recording, I read that too. So
No way.
I don't. But my thing is, and then people was like, man, there's some people were saying like, man, if you talk like this in on promos, like you'd be phenomenal, you know. And so like you can't beat the internet. The internet is undefeated always, right?
Yeah.
But it sucks that you if you feel a certain way about things and people are coming to you a certain way that you can't really voice your opinion. It's almost like yo, shut up and just do what you do and don't say anything about it. And we live in an area where social media has made everyone so accessible. Like I can talk to whoever I want to. Now if they respond back, it's on them, you know. But I could match to someone and really at them or whatever the case may be, you know. Um, but I feel like it's a lot of still entitlement when it comes to the IWC, when it comes to these wrestlers. Like you say, you might see them approaching wrestlers or following wrestlers in the airport or follow them to their cars, you know, talking to them any kind of way over the internet because, oh man, I'm not really going to see Bronson Reed. I can tell him how fat he is right now, you know, you know, but like crazy stuff like that. I don't know, man. I just don't like how things are. Maybe things are just always like that, but if this wasn't a work by Ricochet and this really was the truth or something like that, I don't know, man. I don't know what I want out of this. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't sit with me right that people are able to talk to other people like that. Maybe I feel like a good two shoes right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? If what I'm making sense, what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah.
So so I have a theory on this. Um, because like I mean, all of us have kind of talked about how you can't really get real heat in the crowd anymore because everyone's kind of desensitized. But like you could talk about like the sky being like you mean ugly one day and you're gonna have like people trying to cancel you on the internet. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's the weirdest dichotomy because like on the internet all of a sudden like people are just frying you for like just like being alive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like for some reason a heel can't get heat other than MJF. Um the IWC stuff, man, I and there's like people who are cultish for AEW and WWE.
Yeah.
The WWE ones are like to a whole other level. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and
Like they feel betrayed.
huh?
Just the
Yeah,
fact they
it's
feel
like,
betrayed.
and they didn't even like him. The other thing is like, if they liked him that much, he would be like getting booked better because he would have hype. So it's like, they all of a sudden they like wait for someone to fail or something, and it's like I don't. I mean, those people just suck. If you're gonna like, why do you even
Harass.
care?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was like a mid card guy in WWE, and it's not like Roman Reigns leaving right now or something like it's that. It's not really, and I'm not trying to hate on Ricochet, but it's not even a big deal. Like, what is going on in your life that you feel like you need to talk about Ricochet sucking? He's been exactly as good in AEW as he's been in WWE, and honestly,
Yeah.
he's had some slightly better matches in my opinion.
Hmm.
But like why do you care that much? Like
Right.
it's like if you like WWE right now a lot and you feel you're talking about how great the product is, the reason it's great is because AEW exists.
Hmm.
It sucked ass for a long time because AEW didn't exist and they
Hmm.
could take their sweet barely like write any good stories, constantly flip-flop things, have you mean people eating dog food and stuff. Like they just like if you like WWE, you should be happy AEW exists.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's not going to put WWE out of business. There's enough money for both companies. Uh, I don't, yeah. There's just something wrong with those people that are like offended for someone wanting to make more money or express themselves artistically in a different place.
Offended by somebody they didn't really care for in the first place, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've not seen anyone burning Ricochet shirts because he went to AEW. Have you seen that? It's just a bunch of nerds on the internet hating on him.
I don't
Like
know
if
if
you were
anyone.
his,
Go ahead.
not yeah, there's not many not Ricochet shirts. There are some because I saw him at the when I saw him at Wrestle Dream, there was like randomly like a decent amount of people with Ricochet shirts. I was like, what the hell? So
I don't have much to say about this. You're right, Pierre. It's annoying that one, we have so much access to so many people, but two, people are there who are accessible, like they react to it. There are some people who don't react to it, but they're so easily, not easily, I guess buttons are pushed, but it just sucks all around. Sometimes this is like one of the downfalls of social media. People are accessible and people get hurt by the smallest things, although this isn't a small thing. But I feel like he is justified in saying those things because he covers all grounds, all bases with that rant, if that was him in the first place. So I feel it's justified if that's true. But yeah, it just does suck. The tribalism's stupid too, as you mentioned, Wade.
it's freaking
It's
silly,
it's
man.
annoying. It's annoying
Yeah.
as hell. It's like me, and I'm not a holier than thou type of person most of the time, but me sitting amongst a crowd at a WWE event, and they talk about this on other podcasts. If you see a badass superstar that these people don't know about, it's almost uh, like a waste, like pearls before swine type of situation. You know what I mean? Like, let's say,
Mhm.
um, what's her name? Stephanie Valkyr comes and makes her debut in a match or at Royal Rumble, and the crowd has no idea who she is. But I'm just like, do you know who this is? You have no I freaking idea? And that's how I felt about Tiffy Time at the Royal Rumble and a few other people, Braun Breaker. It's like appreciate greatness, you know. Ilya Dragunov too. So yeah, it's again, I'm not on a high horse about stuff, but it's the tribalism, the blind, ignorant tribalism is what annoys me the most.
Yeah, you can like
Yeah.
both,
Yeah.
or you could not
Yeah.
like the other and then not waste your life trying to make
Talking
another
about
guy's
it.
life. And then
Yeah.
Ricochet could also not read his mentions. Would also be another thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be hilarious if he was really hacked and like the person like, but I feel like he probably did. Him saying he was hacked is like the lamest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like that's a soft apology type of situation. Like, oh, it wasn't me, you know?
But I mean, I don't even think he needs to apologize for anything. Like, if that's truly how you, this is your platform.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't,
exactly.
like some people, if you want to go tell people to go out and touch grass because they probably need to go out and touch grass,
Yep.
tell them to go touch grass. And I think that's kind of the bottom line with it. Some people need to touch grass sometimes.
yeah, or
Go touch
cheeks.
grass.
Yeah,
Oh, gee.
just being real.
All right, that is our three count segment.
Sorry.
Let us know who you guys think the fifth man will be in the men's war games, and who should be the women's mid card title holder for the WWE United States Championship. Who should be the first to have that title? And what do you think about Ricochet's rant? Have you seen it? Do you believe it? Is it justified? Are you a WWE mark or an AEW mark? Just kidding. But let us know what you guys think
TNA.
for our three cats. All right. Let's go into our tinfoil theory of the week. Pierre, what do you got conspiring under that hat?
So last week was kind of tame, right? I think I talked about Sheamus versus Braun Breaker, and look who
Yeah.
we got next week: Sheamus versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I don't think Sheamus is gonna win though, but we know we on the John Cena Farewell World Tour. I think I might have talked about this before, but I got John Cena winning the Royal Heavyweight Championship, and I got Cody Rhodes turning on John Cena to start Cody Rhodes' turn. Is that what better way to take it out the past? And then we keep comparing this to John Cena. You take out John Cena, and now you are the heel. You are hated because John Cena is so lovable right now, and you ruin this is his farewell world match, his last match, and you Cody Rhodes destroys John Cena viciously.
And also shave the rest of his baldness. That'd be hilarious if he's like I'm taking off the rest of your hair, you fool. And he just does that. That would be funny if he was just berating him for being bald. Uh, that might be better than a bunch of chair shots, to be honest. But I mean, I don't see that happening. But that's definitely a tinfoil theory. Like
For sure.
I like it though.
For sure. To make one of their number one draws a heel. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm for it. I mean, I
How
would
about
cheer if I was in the crowd
yeah, yeah, you
because I'm
would.
not really like super into John Cena, and I like Cody. I would like Cody as a heel.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
think
thinking.
that's a good one. That's a good one. I feel if John Cena comes back at some point, he should shave his head to look like the old school John Cena, and also the bald spot thing. All right, that is our tinfoil theory of the week. Do we got a no hate just debate this week?
Oh yeah, we got one.
Oh, I gotta start coming up with them. That way, I don't have to debate every freaking week.
That's on you, dog. All right. Our
All right,
no
let's do
hate
it.
just debate topic. Someone's going to have to argue that using
We want to pick.
particularly. Huh?
We pick a number first.
Huh?
We want to pick a number first.
Nah, I don't care. Okay, we can do that. I mean, it doesn't matter. I was going to tell you the topic and then have you pick numbers, but um man, he just really wants the numbers. All right. I'm going to no. Oh, I have a quarter here. Heads or tails, Pierre?
Um, hits.
Hmm? It's tails.
Aha! Tails never fails, Mon Frere.
Oh, I never even seen this quarter. Apostle Islands. All right. Over here. So that was tails. So I guess Marlon will pick whichever one he wants. Somebody's going to have to argue that um, using the pile driver uh, as an angle to essentially write off Randy Orton um, is a joke because we see crazier things all the time. Or WWE did an amazing job with that whole angle. So there's a lot of ways you could go with either side. I know there was a
Is,
lot of words there, but you guys get what I'm trying to
Yeah.
get.
wait. I think I missed something. Did they write Randy Orton off?
Well,
With
I mean, he got stretchered off. Like, I mean,
okay.
he didn't like they didn't say he died, but it's not
I
like
thought
with
We went to the hospital.
he went to the hospital. They said he has cervical issues.
they said that on the show.
Yeah, they said that on
Why
the
did I miss
show.
that? Cervically. Okay. All right. All right. So is the pile driver a dumb way to write it off, or is it justified? Right?
And the way it was
It
done.
was done.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go pro pile driver.
Okay,
All right.
get ready to lose.
Damn.
I love it.
All
I love
right.
it.
You want to go first, Marlon?
Yeah, we're doing a minute.
Minute and a half.
Oh, I just need
Or
30
you could
seconds.
do a minute. Like
I'll do 30
do as
seconds.
much as you want, but if you go over a minute and a half, I'll stop you.
All right,
I'll
cool.
mute your mic like it's a debate.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Go.
There are a handful of banned moves, or at least ones that are taboo that we should not be touching. And we have become so accustomed to it in these wrestling days, particularly in WWE, because AEW goes ham on a lot of different stuff. But, and rightfully so, we need that. But one of those moves is the pile driver. Why? Because many wrestlers, especially those in the age of Randy Orton and John Cena's that generation and a little bit after that, are susceptible to injury. So when someone like Kevin Owens goes berserk and maybe blinded and tunnel visioned, just starting to black out, his instinct of his berserkedness is to pull a pile driver on Randy, knowing he could hurt him the most because of Randy's previous medical history. So this is an ingenious way for WWE to write Randy off temporarily while he recovers at a local medical facility. So I say, hell yeah with the pile driver. And when I watched it live, it popped me because I was not expecting that, but to do it in KO fashion was completely understandable. That's it.
All right. You had only 10 seconds left. Great job.
Hell
All
yeah.
right. Go ahead, Pierre.
Um, I think the power driver was a stupid way to write Randy Orton off. Uh, if you're gonna get injured by a power driver nowadays in this climate, I think you need to drink some milk and do some yoga. You know, stretch yourself out. I've seen crazier moves in the WWE. I feel like I've seen Canadian destroyers. I've seen John Cena do a Canadian destroyer. John Cena, who's built like a block, do a Canadian destroyer. Uh, Watching Jacob Fatu be as agile as he is, as a dude that's probably close to 300 pounds. Ivar, doing. I've seen Nia Jax completely not only annihilate someone, but annihilate Lyra Valkyria with her move. So if it makes me think that a power driver has really taken out Randy Orton, who has put on weight, who is probably pushing 300 pounds now, is crazy to me. I didn't even know the move was banned. When until they told me that the move was banned. The setup was so slow that I was like, "What's going on?" And then he started to do like like a cat in heat, like he was making cat noises. And I'm like, "What's going on with Randy Orton?" It's like, "Oh no, he did this forbidden move, the power driver." I'm like, "What?" That makes no sense at all. Like for them to have that crazy match at Crown Jewel, and this is how Randy Orton get carried out on the stretcher from a power driver. No
The
way.
time.
They could have did a lot better.
Residual damage.
Yeah. So I just gonna the Canadian destroyer looks way worse, and you're like legit like it's 5 times the amount of force and momentum. I like that's why it's so funny that this is legal. But no, I mean both did a good job. Like I think there's like it's interesting with AEW, like because you brought that up, Marlon. They do like crazy shit all the like Mariah May got pile drivered on steel steps
Mm-hmm.
at All In this year and then still won the match, but it was like bleeding everywhere. But it was like really sick. And then Randy like in the middle of the mat like takes a soft ass pile driver and because it wasn't that good to be honest. Like but I will say for WWE, they did a good job making it seem like it was this incredibly transgressive, disturbing thing.
Yeah.
Even though AEW, I feel like that plastic bag thing with. I know I bring this up all the time, but when I saw that live, I felt very uncomfortable. Like that, like I'm like, oh, they're like legit trying to kill this guy. Like that felt way more than like this, but they did. WWE did a good job with the whole thing, and I thought the announcers did a good job, like kind of selling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I wanted to do it. Like, because Marlon was going to do it as his topic or whatever, and then I'm like, well, now you're going to have to debate it. That's all I got for that.
All right. Let us know what you guys think about the Kevin Owens, Randy Orton pile driver situation. Was it justified? Was it good? Was it dumb? Let us know in the comments. And as we wrap up our show, please remember to subscribe and like. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of 2024, where we will also be doing a yearly wrap up show with our best ofs 2024. So stay tuned for that. And with that, we will see you guys. Thank you.
Peace.
Power drive that strap button.
Yeah, pile drive it.
I'll try
Or,
that subscribe
no,
button.
Canadian Destroyer that subscribe button.